Good morning, yoga family. Welcome to week 9 of our 52 weeks of asanas. This week's featured posture is Sasangasana, or rabbit or hare posture. This posture is a great stretch for your neck and upper back, a great controlled stretch for your neck and upper back. It allows you a lot of the same benefits of a headstand or a shoulder stand without it actually being an inversion. So people who struggle with inversions, this is a great alternative to that. Some of the other benefits: improves spinal and back flexibility. It also brings fresh blood to the brain, like the shoulder stand or a headstand. It energizes your thyroid. It helps revitalize your mind. It can also help with depression. Contraindications. If you have any back or neck injury, if you have untreated high blood pressure, vertigo or glaucoma, prep postures for this: cat-cow, sun salutations, any of the warrior postures, down dog, up dog, counter postures, thunderbolt, and child's pose. Modification: if you have if you have trouble kneeling, put a blanket or a towel under your knees if your mat's not very thick, because this is a kneeling posture. I really had trouble finding a whole lot of information about this asana. There's just not a lot out there. I don't know why. It's not a common posture, to be honest with you. Before this week, I don't know that I ever did this, and I probably would have considered it a variation of child's pose, but it's not. But looking at the posture, you would think that it was a variation of child's pose. But no, it's its own posture on its own. But like I said, it's a good controlled stretch for your upper back and your neck. It has a relaxing effect on your nervous system, which is why it can help alleviate depression and anxiety. In the posture, we bring our chin to our chest. This is considered a throat lock, which is really good for your it benefits your thyroid and your parathyroid. Some practitioners, some yogis, say that it's effective for relieving sinus problems. I notice just myself on inversions. Inversions help if I'm congested a lot. Or if I'm having a lot of drainage going on. If I spend some time in some inversions, once I come back upright, the sinuses just go, hey, we can use gravity now. And my sinuses just kind of, drain out. So I understand where they're coming from that. I get that as well. As I said, good warm-ups, just your sun salutation with some warrior postures thrown in. It's a great warm-up for this. Rabbit Sasangasana is a counter posture for camel. But most of what I could find out about it, they don't recommend going straight from camel into rabbit, because it's a lot, it could aggravate your back. going from one flexion to the other. So they recommend doing some twisting if you want to utilize camel and rabbit in the same sequence. They recommend including some twisting postures in between. Personally, camel's never been a favorite posture of mine. I struggle with it's the back flexion. I struggle with that. So you don't have to worry about my class utilizing camel and rabbit in the same sequence. Let's see, what else? All right, well, let's just practice it. Okay, so we're going to come to your knees. I'm going to just start with, just come to a tabletop, and let's just do a few cat-cows just to warm up your back a little bit. So inhale, drop the belly, raise the chin, and exhale, pull the belly in, pull the chin to the chest. And again, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. And last time, inhale, and exhale. All right, you come back to center. You can, wag your tail a little bit if you want. If you want to do a little twist, bring that left arm up, right hand down. And right hand up, left hand down. Just wake that back up a little bit if you hadn't been moving yet today. Okay, so we're going to start out in just seated thunderbolt, just seated here on your knees. Okay, so you grab your heels, have your knees about hip distance apart, grab your heels or your calves. For me, the heels work better. And then you drop your chin to your chest. Keep your shoulders, shoulder blades, scapula flat on your back. You don't really need to squeeze them together, but just make sure you keep your chest open. Drop your chin. Because sometimes when we drop our chin, we want to roll our shoulders forward too. So just make sure when you drop your chin, you're not rolling your shoulders forward. Okay, and then we bring our head down so that the crown of your head is on the mat in front of your knees. Your hands, thumbs out, have a hold of your heels. Now, and your chin is on your chest. Now raise your hips and your buttocks up as high as you can. But now you're not putting weight. See, I can raise my head up from the mat. I'm not putting weight into my head and neck. I'm not putting pressure. I'm just gently, the same amount of pressure that you would apply with your hand, that's all the pressure you want to be putting on your neck and your spine in this. Just so you're just giving that neck and spine a little gentle stretch. But you want to make sure you keep your shoulders down and back. Keep your chest open. And then you hold this for 3 to 5 breaths. And then you just slowly lower your hips back down to your heels. I like to bring my hands up and just kind of press myself back up slowly, and then bring your chin back up. All right, and then this is Thunderbolt. This is a great counter posture for this. And then you can just come down into a child's pose, which is just resting your forehead then on the mat. Okay? All right, so that's Sasangasana, rabbit pose, hare pose, rabbit handstand, hare handstand, or hare headstand. That's another, yeah. It's also, now there's here, rabbit pose, alternately called hare pose, hare handstand, and Sasangasana. It is sometimes spelled with an H, S-H-A. I found it that way as well. Just my cards have it spelled with an S-A. So anyway, Sasangasana is an asana that evokes nostalgia for childhood playfulness, a deep connection to nature, and the calm gentleness of bunnies. In Sanskrit, the moon is called Shasanga, having the marks of a hare. If we're to look closely at the moon, perhaps we could find a rabbit-like shadow. And the curled roundness of this pose reflects both the moon and the rabbit shape. And with just having had our full moon, this is a good posture for this week. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed today's discussion. I hope you come back for the rest of the week to see what we do with hare in our classes, Sasangasana. I pray you all have a blessed and beautiful week. Namaste.